To properly frame what lies ahead, let me explain this much. There is such a thing as honest profiteering. Most of the people who are ever going to see this video, I can be certain, hold down jobs. For most of these people, one hope with the job is to get ahead. Getting ahead usually coincides with increasing one's distance from poverty, and the only way to do that is by increasing one's wealth. So what is the difference between honest profiteering and dishonest profiteering? Some may disagree, but this is how I see that difference. The honest profiteer begins with the question, what goods and services is there an unmet demand for, and follows up with, how can I profit from meeting that demand? The dishonest profiteer, on the other hand, begins with the question, what goods and services am I extraordinarily well positioned to profit from providing, and follows up with, how can I create or increase the demand for those goods and services? The honest profiteer has the somewhat more difficult task. The honest profiteer concentrates on tailoring the goods and services he or she can provide to fit needs and demands which already exist, while the dishonest profiteer concentrates on affecting demands to accommodate the goods and services he or she is already suited to provide. The honest profiteer strives to change supply to accommodate demand. The dishonest profiteer goes the other way. This will become relevant in a moment. I was recently asked in the comments on one of my videos what my position is about increased global temperatures due to human activity. In a nutshell, I don't care. It's pretty clear to me that it is real, but nevertheless, I don't give a damn. Now let me tell you why. Whether global warming is real or not, peak oil is real. Oil is an utterly non-renewable resource upon which we are utterly dependent, and our rate of consumption is only increasing. But no matter how good we are at finding it, there is only so much of it to be found. That is an immutable fact. That means that whatever else happens, sooner or later, we are going to run out. And when that happens, either we will be weaned, or we will be screwed. Now, does this mean that we must all immediately give up our cars and be content to get everywhere by buggy, on horseback, or on foot? No. Does that mean that we have to hound others to do so? No. Does it obligate us to put up with such hounding from others? No. But if we want to avoid this fate, it means we absolutely must support the allocation of resources to the development of renewable alternatives. Biofuels are renewable, although they eat into the food supply, no pun intended, and they pollute. Natural gas is renewable. Wind, solar power, hydroelectric power, and hydrogen fuel cells are all renewable. Additionally, it's my understanding that scientists in the United States are projecting making fusion a practical reality within the next few years as well, though I have my doubts about that, since the joke is that fusion is the power source of the future, and always will be. It also means that we need to be conscious of things like our energy consumption. If there's no reason for the light in a room to be on, turn it off. If planning a trip a little more carefully might shave off a few miles, go for it. If weather insulation and basic home repairs will shave a few bucks off heating expenses, you might want to look into that. If you live only a few blocks away from work, then you might want to experiment with walking a couple times a week. Who knows, you might find that you enjoy it. If your home and your work are each close to a major bus, rail, or subway line, then it might be in your interest to give public transportation a try, especially if your local transportation agency is experimenting with ethanol. What's more, oil is the cause of way too many social and political problems. Why did Saddam Hussein invade Kuwait? Oil. Why did Bush, Cheney, and friends dupe us into supporting the invasion of Iraq? Oil. Why did the forces of Nazi Germany's Afrika Korps and British forces go to war along the northern coast of Africa in World War II? Oil. Every time another source of oil has been found in an even slightly undeveloped part of the world, those living in the area have shortly commenced to end up dead in large number. What's more, look at the oil slick hitting the Louisiana coast. That wouldn't be happening if that rig hadn't been built, and that rig wouldn't have been built if not for our addiction to oil. So I say the sooner we can wean ourselves, the better. I don't care whether global warming is real, because when it comes to supporting efforts to wean ourselves of oil, and by the same token coal, when it comes to conserving our natural resources and fighting pollution, all of this is motivation enough for me. We have a need to wean ourselves. We will have to wean ourselves sooner or later. I vote sooner. I am a citizen and denizen of the United States of America. Though many countries compete with us in terms of education, and in my opinion too many surpass us, few compete with us in terms of research and development infrastructure. This puts us in a position to lead the way in the development of renewable alternatives, which sooner or later the entire world is going to need. If we concentrate on that development, then we will be the ones to develop these alternatives first, which means that when other countries need them, they will come to us. They will buy them from us. But wait a minute. There are other players in this. Other countries are developing their research and development infrastructures. The two fastest growing economies in the world are China and India, and they're applying a lot of that growth to this very end because they understand this. They are beginning to compete with us a lot already. At this rate, the world, including us, will be going to them instead. This is just the venue for honest and competitive profiteering. The human race must shift its dependence to renewable resources, and if there's a way for the United States to profit from providing them, then so much the better.